Both teams are getting set for game 3 here. We are not quite ready to head into draft, I don't believe. But we are getting there. Alrighty, looks like we are ready to get into draft here. Looks like teams have gotten set. So we will head directly into draft. Well, we will head into draft as soon as ZMG wakes back up.
I'm excited to see. I wonder what the bans will be.
All right, well, Fig has had some pretty good predictions in game 2 as to what would come out. Now that you're back with us for game 3 here, would you like to give us some more predictions?
Actually, open up the draft link and stop trolling. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna wait to see what happens through picks and bans, and then I'll predict.
No predictions. All right.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not gonna predict. Oh, look, they got it. They're gonna first pick Azir. Azir gets banned. Obviously, the private picks are Viego, Azir, Nami, and then with Shane, it's one of the 3 picks: Alawi, Yorick, and Renekton.
Does not look like they're going to triple ban Shane, as the Azir is the first ban.
It worked out better for them to have like a more set up bot lane with like the Ashhold and Nami. Seems like a lot of those fights went a little bit better.
I was
Very
impressed.
much so.
I was impressed with how much pressure Yumi was able to bring. It seemed like they were constantly trying to all in.
But they didn't get a lot out of it. They put a lot of pressure in, but they didn't make much off of that pressure.
Right.
Which is a bit of a downside if you're LTP there, because you want that pressure to turn into things.
If you noticed, but in those later fights, Yumi wasn't typically on the Zeri. She was really on like either the Olaf or J4.
Yeah.
Really trying to get the ultimates landed, but never quite had them lined up correctly.
Most of the time in the later game, it seemed like they just walked out of the Yumi ult. They're like, nope.
Let's fight in a different direction.
Ooh,
And
the
we see
ban.
none of Shane's champs are banned here, leaving all 3 available as we head into the first round of picks.
If I'm Shane here, I think I take the Renekton and pick 2 or 3. Maybe even
if
pick
it's
3.
blind?
Yeah, I mean Renekton's like what he does, and I think because he's typically strong-sided, I think he can do everything that he could do if it was a counter pick. Blinding it. I mean, Renekton's such a strong laner, and if he can do what he did against an Olaf, who's also a very strong laner, and have his flash burnt level 1, get ganked level 2, die off, and then lose so much XP in waves, and he's still able to do that, I think it's a really good pick for him. I think it's worth blinding because he seems like he's that good at it. I don't know how much he plays it, but it seems like he's that good at it.
Looks like they will pick the Lucian, so they can't do Lucian on me. Except I honestly think like I'm expecting another Ashe pick here. And then, maybe if they do something spicy and pick Bel'Veth.
That would be fun to watch.
It would be interesting to watch. I don't think Lucian Ashe. Okay. Getting some curveballs thrown here.
Oh.
Well,
as much as I love like Ashe support, I don't think it's gonna be very good in comp.
Did he not play Tristana mid first game? Is this for sure a Lucian bot?
It's possible that it's Lucian mid, I suppose, but I almost wonder if LTP is worried a bit too much about picking things away from ZMG and maybe not getting as much of a comp as
Yeah.
The issue with Lucian mid is it kind of falls off, and it is abusable, like any ADC mid lane. Like,
Yeah.
there's usually a reason why a lot of ADCs need to get babied like through the laning phase.
Oh, Wukong. That is a
Wukong.
strong champ.
It does look like ZMG is picking a kind of an early game comp so far, though. I wonder if they'll pick some late game scaling into
Yeah.
the mid and top lane.
I wonder
now.
what the counter is going to be for jungle.
Gonna be Volibear. It's usually Volibear. Oh, when a Volibear's banned.
Volibear's
Lily?
banned, Viego's banned,
Oh,
Hex banned.
that's a
Lilia.
good pick.
Lilia could be going top lane as well. We've seen a couple of top lane Lilias here over the past few weeks.
Nocturne? That's just a hover, I
That
bet.
has to
That
be just a
has to be a
hover.
hover.
Now, I think Nocturne for ZMG would be pretty big, but I'm pretty sure it's Wukong jungle, not Wukong top. I don't know why would they ban it.
Are you surprised that they have not banned any of Shane's champs to this point?
They've got to be trolling with that, right? Okay, it's
Finally
Alawi.
get the Alawi ban here, as the Ornn is the instant response. Was powerful in game 1.
Banning Ornn. It
It's-
looks like they want Renekton. If they ban Renekton here, what is he going to pick? The York, right?
Be Renekton here.
The York
Maybe
is...
Jack. I've seen him play Jax before, so
Yeah, I would like to think that a plat level player has slightly deeper than 3 champion pool. We see the Vigar ban instead though, so that
Wow.
Renekton is available.
Interesting.
Now, do they take it here? Or do they pick for Azir and leave Shane to pick last?
I wouldn't be surprised if they just re-pick up the Victor and the Renekton and just roll it back. Because Victor has really great like late game scaling, and you saw how much Shane was able to dominate on that Renekton last game.
We do have folks in Twitch chat calling for the Nami-powered reverse sweep, so we will see if reality is able to make the fish carry, as we see Seraphine locked in here, so it looks like that Lucian might be going mid after all. Really, none of these champs are particularly locked into a single role. So, lots of question marks.
So I believe that is Seraphine mid. However,
Yeah.
uncertain.
We do have Azir on his Swain again. Did not have a great time on this Swain in game 1 into the Tristana. However, no Tristana this game, so he may have a slightly better evening. Renekton is the final pickup. Shane getting back on that horse. Or
It's really
crocodile,
just
I suppose.
it's really just Lilia. It's really just Lilia jungle with the Seraphine top, you know. And so the Tristana's about to get picked. They'll do a triple ADC comp.
Triple ADC with a Lilia Seraphine. Ugh. That sounds so incredibly unfun to play against.
But you know, it will be Poppy.
Now, LTP has a lot of flex picks here, though. So, where will they end up taking these champions is the question. Because that Lilia could be top or jungle. The Poppy could be top or jungle. The Seraphine and Lucian could both be mid lane. The Ashe could be ADC or support. It's all over the map for these guys.
I guess we will soon find out once we get through this drafting phase.
Well, either way, ZMG's comp is pretty straightforward. So how do you expect ZMG to want to play the early game based on the champions that they have?
I mean, mid lane is kind of set to scale, right? So I think you have to put resources either top or bottom because you have a Caitlyn Nami bot lane, and then you have a Renekton top. So I think you either put resources like I said, either top or bot, and then let the swing kind of scale into the game.
Are you at all concerned about Azir having as rough of an early game as he had in game one and having that backfire on you?
Only like downside to like Azir's gameplay in the first game was it was just some of his pathing. It was very greedy. So I think as long as he paths safely and like groups with his team, he should be fine on the Swain.
We
And
do
then
see
this,
the Poppy going top and the Lilia in the jungle, which will limit Shane's aggressiveness somewhat, unable to use that slice and dice when Poppy has her W available. And it looks like we will be seeing the Seraphine mid, so the Lucian Ashe bot lane. How are these lanes going to shake out for LTP? Where's the pressure going to be? Where are they going to be being pressured?
I think top lane will for them will be an island. Seraphine will just be kind of scaling. I think it's gonna be a majority of the pressure will be on bot lane because you have a double ADC bot lane essentially. So I think they will need some help.
You don't think that the aggression out of Lucian and Ashe will be enough to drive back Caitlyn and Nami in the early game?
I mean, as long as like ZMG doesn't take a horrendous trade there, they do have the sustain with the Nami heals, and Caitlyn does technically outrange both of them.
Very fair. Any other thoughts as we're looking at the finalized team comps? For ZMG, it is Renekton in the top lane, Wukong in the jungle, Swain in mid, Caitlyn Nami in the bot lane. And for Lotus Prestige, we've got Poppy in the top lane, Lilia jungle, Seraphine in the mid lane, and Lucian Ashe in the bot lane.
And
Any
kind of dependent. It's gonna be depend on like who hits what abilities. Like if
You can only
Seraphine
win the
lands
game if
like
you do damage.
no, I mean like if Seraphine hits like a god ult, like that could really change the tide of the game. Or Lily hitting an ult, and then Poppy has to be on point with her. You can't come to us. That
Right.
because but she'll also be blocking both Wukong and Renekton from trying to dive onto that backline, which is fairly squishy because it is a Lucian Ashe like Seraphine.
And depending on how Widowmaker builds, Poppy might be the only frontline they have.
Because
With
I think Lilia is probably gonna go what Leandries or Riftmaker, probably the two big builds on Lilia.
going for one of the hybrid builds, yeah.
Um,
Any other thoughts here as we are waiting for a bit of delay here, as spectators must?
all I gotta say is ZMG win. I believe in the dream.
Always have a cheerleader on the casting deck in Seraphina. That being said, as we wait for spectator delay to count down fully, we will go on a short break here. In just a couple of minutes, we will be back with the final game of this series between ZMG Legends and Lotus Prestige. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 3 here between ZMG Legends on the blue side and Lotus Prestige on the red. This will be the final game of this best of 3 as Azir has disconnected. Lovely. We will be waiting for this pause to finish then. Lovely
Yeah,
timing.
at least he paused while already in lane,
Yeah, this
At
is
least,
true.
at least it wasn't Link. He just never connected. Hopefully it's just a minor issue. It looks like it was, because that was not a long pause.
Not at the slightest.
However, that does mean we'll have some sort of spectator bug in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, we'll have the spectator bug now, apparently.
No.
As play will be resuming in 0.
Yep, well, we just awkwardly stand here and
Yes.
watch a orangish screen. Well, like, what color would you call that?
This color would be sepia.
Yeah, that color. Yeah.
We do see Owl in a hoodie and Crisp10 looking to perhaps get some cheese in the bot lane. Did not find anyone, and so heading back to their normal positions. Any surprises in terms of itemization here, or is this all about what you'd expect?
What I expect, to be honest.
You think that the longsword triple pots is better than Doran's blade or Doran's shield for both of these ADCs?
I don't know if it's better or for worse, but I know it's fairly common nowadays. That means they need to rework our starting items. Give me coin back.
Gosh, coin was obnoxious.
I didn't have to do anything. I just got free gold by just sitting there.
Ancient coin Soraka was so incredibly annoying because you never ran out of mana, and you just got infinite gold.
Azir getting some of his little crows, small stacks.
Are you surprised by the fact that Lotus Prestige has taken 3 TPs here? As we see Joe Baby early gank here into the bot lane. Crisp10 taking a lot of damage, down to about 200 health and forced to flash away. Anyway, are you surprised that Lotus Prestige took 3 TPs here? With TPs on
I don't
Crisp10
think
crits
I
and
don't
Zongi.
think Lucian should have taken TP, but I guess it'll come in handy right here where he had to force back. But assuming that level 1 or 2 level 1 cheese didn't happen.
And we do see the cleanse as well taken from Teagarden. I guess an anti-Ashe ult decision there.
It's probably due to the Ashe ult and probably Seraphine ult. He just doesn't, or Seraphine root. He doesn't want to.
Shane
Or
missing the
Poppy's
cannon
run
there.
into the wall. Or
Putting a lot of damage onto Zongi though. The wall stun does not land, and Shane will get first blood here, managing to survive by the skin of his teeth, flashing out. And once again, the Renekton showing some early power here. Poppy TPing back.
look at Lilia doing her Gromp and Blue together.
You know it's a skilled jungler when they can double clear like that. However, Reality has walked up to the mid lane, lands the slow, and walks away.
And Wukong just says hi. Know that I'm
Lilia
here.
will find Reality here in the river. Joe Baby is there though, so this might not be what what Widowmaker wants, but the entirety of Red Team just about has come into this fight. Seraphine missing the root, but Owl in a hoodie with that volley is enough to zone away here. And that Scuttle Crab, because that's what they were fighting over, will go to the Lilia. Zongi once again missing the wall stun, meaning that trade goes heavily in Shane's favor. I feel it bears noting that despite the early pressure from Joe Baby in the bot lane, Caitlyn's down about about 6 CS and is pushed into turret here, meaning that she won't be able to follow up on Reality's bubble here. Does get the Q off. The Piltover Peacemaker takes a chunk out of Crisp 10. And it looks like Wukong is thinking about coming up to this top lane. Zongi out of Corrupting Pot charges, just has those 2 biscuits for healing. But Joe Baby decides this is not the fight he wants, will instead back.
I mean, at this point, Renekton's like kind of a little bit too far up to gank unless they're trying to turret dive. This Poppy is just eating Renekton.
Zongi is not having a good time in this lane.
I think he just wishes he was back onto Warren duty.
I don't want to play the game. I just want to be AFK for 20 minutes and then win fights by standing there. We do see blue team is starting up this dragon. Lilia is a ways away. Will be rotating down now, but might be a little bit too late. The vision plant does spot out Reality and Caitlyn. Will be enough to inform Lotus that the Drake is being taken. Will be secured with Joe Baby's smite though. It's the first time I've seen Zongi successfully pull off the bonk. Does still eat a massive trade once the W wears off, though. And Shane has taken control of this lane.
It does seem, though, that the jungler has decided to just forego top lane. Yeah. I mean, I know they put a lot of pressure the previous game, and I feel like it didn't really give a big return. You know, as I say that and open my mouth, I see a Lilia walking top, but you know.
Well, Shane is backing here, so it looks like nothing will come of it. Nope, Shane cancels the recall. Lilia may decide to continue this lane gank here. Zongi not popping the W quite in time, will be stunned up, but Lilia has arrived. The ball misses, and Shane will be able to just walk away.
And then that was
Owl on the hoodie forced to flash as well to avoid the bubble. Zongi sticking around here despite not having an ult, despite being just 100 health, and Shane will get the kill here. Lilia, however, in a good spot to take this kill. Shane forced to pop the ult. Will get the stun down. Will get a lot of damage onto Widowmaker. We're down to about 100 health. Does not have any cooldowns and will fall to Widowmaker here at the end of that fight, paying the price for his turret dive. However, that's a lot of minions not going into this Poppy's pocket. As Hoodie gets stunned, gets rooted, and will fall to the final auto attack as Joe Baby going in behind and will be executed to will die to the Lucian. Burns the flash as well, trying to survive the turret. That's a bit of a misplay from the Wukong.
Should be, yep, there's the double kill.
Yep.
You gotta, you know, I will say that the bot lane synergy is growing. The fact that they were able to kind of do the Nami bubble into Caitlyn trap.
Bonk landing from Zongi will keep him alive for a little bit here, but the dice bring Shane back into punching distance. We'll get a little bit of damage down, take a big heal off of this wave. And Zongi running out of health pretty quickly here is forced to flash away. The stun comes down again. Zongi down to about 200 health. Shane flashes forward, but the W will keep him alive as Shane lets him go. However, this is going to be another plate down for Poppy. She does not have TP here, so this is a big wave to lose as well.
And I think one of the reasons why Renekton probably backed off there is just to play it safe so that he's able to guaranteed platings for the turret, and it allows there to be pressure for the Rift Herald.
And with Lilia on the bot side of the map, this should be a free Herald. Nami is up on the top side with the Wukong as well. Means Teagarden is alone here, but the Caitlyn is up about 600 gold, able to sit under that turret and farm just fine. Shane will be able to get 3 plates here. A lot of gold in that Crocodile's pocket. Perhaps. Yes, there is the last plate. Crisp 10 forced to take some support from Al and a hoodie. Teagarden will get the kill there despite the Ash ult coming out. Not enough to keep his Lucian alive. Teagarden now with the red buff does have a Lilia behind him, but Reality flashing forward trying to get enough damage onto Al and a hoodie does land the bubble and will get the kill there. Not going over to the Caitlyn, but still secured by the Nami.
And with Ash falling right there, I think Lilia was dissuaded for trying to do some form of weird turret dive.
And everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for this double ADC bot lane. However, Lilia is perhaps looking at a dive or a gank onto this Azir. Crits has gotten the ult out from Azir. The damage portion is popped as well. The root will land though. Crits running out of health here. Azir forced to flash away. Widowmaker is doing a lot of damage, but Joe Baby is on the backside there. Does not have quite enough damage. The ultimate comes out, knocking up Widowmaker. The second cast will not be in time, and Widowmaker is able to limp out of there, all 4 legs broken.
And with that, knowing that mid has the back, they will pop the Rift Herald mid.
Rift Herald is popped mid. Drake is about to spawn as well. Looks like blue team has forced the red team's bot lane off of this turret as well, getting pressure all across the map. Lilia looking to come, but will be sidetracked by the Wukong here. And Nami might find herself in a bit of a pickle.
I wonder when they're gonna realize there's a pink ward in the blue side jungle.
It's fine.
One day.
Owl on a hoodie here is a little bit low to be pushing up without any support. Seraphine is there as well. Does not land the root. The dragon will be taken here. The stun coming out onto Reality. The heal is not enough, and Reality will fall here. Joe Baby using that clone to get out safe. That is 2 Drakes over to ZMG here. Poppy
I love how they stopped and paused to auto attack the clone. That was kind of funny.
Clearly, ZMG was just gonna leave Joe Baby there to stand still and die. I don't know what kind of thing that's surprising to you, but
oh look, they found the pink ward. Huzzah! Or they changed where the location was. No, they got it. They found it.
Shane took a few turret shots there, forced to play a little bit careful as Lilia is in the area as well here.
Love a deep reward for Renekton around either the Tribush or around the what's that? The golems?
Krugs, yes.
Yes.
Used to be golems, no longer golems.
Oh, are they not called golems?
No, they're Krugs now.
Oh.
Shane does now have the capacity to instant clear the back line of minions with his Q. Looks like Caitlyn will be taking the spot turret. But Shane getting ganked here. The Chilling Smite comes out. Does get grounded by the Poppy. Zongi trying to stay alive here will not, as Widowmaker is now forced to run despite having Shane theoretically on the ropes. Shane with that burn will just barely survive. No, he will fall to the Liandry's and Lilia burn.
Honestly, right there when Poppy blocked him from going forward, that's actually how like Renekton got the kill on the Poppy. Because instead of dashing to the Lilia, he just stood next to the low health Poppy.
Yep. And Teagarden is putting some hurt onto the second turret as well. Joe Baby and Azir have crits in a bad position here as the ult comes out from Joe Baby. Crits does not land the ult onto Azir as Joe Baby flashes forward, knocks up Widowmaker as well. Widowmaker forced to W away and will survive at about half health. And ZMG seem to have taken the reins of this game in hand. However, Lilia is looking for a gank onto this bot lane. Teagarden has a 300 gold shutdown, but Reality will be the sacrifice, taking the Ashe ult, taking the Lucian ult, and will let his ADC survive. In the meantime, Swain gets that mid-tier 1 turret, putting some more gold in the pockets of ZMG Legends, as Shane is continuing to put the hurt onto Zongi. Zongi has started to make these trades a little bit more even, though, especially with the help of that buckler shield when he can pick it up. Joe Baby is in the area, but Lilia is coming up as well. This could be a 2v2 over this turret, which is at about 500 health here. Looks like Joe Baby and Shane are going to ignore the Poppy and get the turret. Joe Baby and Nami are both here for this fight as Shane flashes forward, gets the stun onto Widowmaker, gets the kill with the dice. Zongi has to run for his life here as Seraphine chooses to leave him be. Taking the minion taxi out might be enough as Joe Baby, no, gets it with the Nimbus dash and the Q.
And
And
that
that
should
will
be Rift Herald
be
for the
a
side
Rift
blue.
Herald as well. However, on the bot side of the map, Lucian will at least get the consolation prize of this turret.
No, he won't.
No, he won't. Renekton choosing to teleport in to save the turret. I'm not sure I love that decision. I think I would have liked to see the Renekton stay top and take that tier 2,
I
personally.
think the point here is that they were just probably trying to set up for this Drake. No, Renekton's backing. Never mind. That was strictly just to save the turret.
Fair enough. Choices, choices. Teagarden, of course, as this
Oh,
Caitlyn, just a little bit fed, able to very well control this dragon area.
Caitlyn traps, a fun and interactive piece of the game where you can't get rid of them without either stepping on them or, stepping on them.
Are you telling me you don't want to be auto-attacked from halfway across the map with no counterplay?
No.
That seems like a personal issue. I don't think Riot Balance Team will ever change that as the root lands onto Lilia here, forced to stopwatch immediately as Joe Baby is stunned in his ult. Joe Baby will be the first to fall, but Lilia falls immediately after as the two-man root comes out. 3 people knocked up by the Nami ult. Zongi will die as well, as does the bot lane, or rather Owl and Crits. Crisp 10 is the only survivor, but will not be enough to save either the turret or the Drake. And the fight looked better than some of these previous fights as they were able to stun Joe Baby and keep his ult from being quite as effective, but it just wasn't enough to keep Lotus Prestige alive here.
Wait, did Lilia get to ult that fight?
Lilia did not ult, her ult is still up.
Huh.
She was immediately jumped on by the Wukong, and then after the Wukong was stunned when she came out of her Zanya's, the rest of the team was there and deleted her.
See, the fact that the Poppy is so far behind currently, that's really kind of impeding Red side, mainly because they do have a double ADC plus Seraphine, like, as their damage, I guess.
So
So,
far behind is an understatement. Renekton has nearly double her gold.
I was trying to be nice. Oh, I was trying to use.
Well, there's being nice, and then there's holy crow. As reality does get caught out by the Ash Arrow, just gonna be a bit of an annoyance here, a little bit of chip damage, as Azir is there to keep him safe.
And that's why the Caitlyn went the cleanse, because, like, I think she got hit by one Ash ult and just was like, no.
Now, are you at all surprised that Swain chose to start to finish his Rylai's first, as opposed to any of his mythics?
Particularly because I think the slow will come into being very big in some of these fights. Maybe he's just trying to fight Ash with the slows,
Fair.
They popped the Rift Herald here.
I believe they were just out of time on that.
Oh. I was like, I don't know if that's gonna... Will that crash?
It will crash. Doesn't look like Red Team really has a way into that eye. The Ash Arrow does come out, lands onto Azir, but Azir gets instantly knocked away by the Poppy. That's some anti-synergy right there. As
I
Shane
was
is
like...
roaming down here, Crisp 10 running out of health. The ult lands onto Azir and Wukong. Crit's dying to the Nami of all people. Poppy does get pulled, but it will not be enough to kill her. And she will just barely survive. That will just be a single pick for all of that fighting. Despite that just
Point.
being a single kill, it feels like things are getting worse and worse for Lotus Prestige here.
Well, they don't really have an answer to the Fed Renekton, right? Like,
The
the
ult
Poppy
lands again
obviously.
onto Is Reality Real as Azir pops his ult. Joe Baby popping his ult as well. Teagarden will get the kill onto Crisp 10 as Owl in a hoodie is the sacrifice, allowing his Lilia to get away. This should be an inhibitor here. Joe Baby gets rooted, but there is next to no damage from this Seraphine. Zongi getting hit by the pole will put up that defense and manage to get away safely. And it looks like ZMG is peeling away here for this Baron potentially.
Try to 50-50 it. I think he'll be fine.
I'm not sure it's a 50-50 when it's 17-6, but it does appear that ZMG Legends is choosing not to
Hey,
take the Baron, instead backing off.
hey, all you need is smite, right? Or like an ability, and for the enemy to miss their smite.
It's a little bit hard for the Lilia to go into this team at this point, but Wukong without the ult looking to drive away Crisp 10 and Crits here will do so. They decide to walk away rather than fighting at all.
I really think like banning the Ornn has been the best thing for ZMG because their top laner just doesn't seem like they can really deal with Shane.
Well, even when he had the Ornn, Shane was still very effective on that York, just the rest of the map kind of lost him the game. But for ZMG, Shane has definitely been the MVP of this match, drawing a lot of pressure and putting out a lot of pressure himself. Looks like ZMG does have fairly complete control over the bot side of the map here. Will have presence for that Earth Soul in 20 seconds here. That'll be a 22-minute soul that they can back away here for and get fairly close to uncontested, although we see the TP in from Poppy here onto Azir. Lilia did pop the Predator, but now forced to back away as Joe Baby is there. Goes in, ults. Crisp 10 falls to Teagarden's ult there as the Poppy drives away the Renekton. Is not enough as Owl in a hoodie falls as well. Azir will keep dragging his way through the Poppy. The kill does go over to Teagarden, and that will be, it looks like they're going for Baron, as that is a 3-for-0 here in favor of ZMG. Taking a little while, though. Doesn't seem like the entire team is quite on the same page as to whether to go to Dragon or Baron. Finally, all get here.
Their fourth Drake? Yes. Yeah.
Well, I will say this. Lotus Prestige was the first team to take a game off of ZMG in Game 1 here. ZMG felt like they needed a statement win, and so far this game is looking like it, as Crits and Widowmaker trying to sneak this dragon away to keep ZMG from getting soul. Crits will pay for it with his life, and Azir and Shane say thank you for the leash. We will take this.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't send the Seraphine bot with the Ashe and Pit Lucian mid, especially since their Lotus's mid laner seemed to be more of a carry type with the Tristana the first game. Why not give them a similar feel with like the Lucian mid?
And we did get that comment as well from Glacial in the Twitch chat, who made the same comment earlier. I'm not entirely certain what the thought process was behind that. If it were possible, I would have loved to get Lotus's coach in here after this game to kind of pick his brains about that. Unfortunately, I think that's slightly out of our budget at the moment. The modified 4-1 here with the inhibitor down in the bot or in the mid lane. Looks like the 4 members are being sent bot while Shane keeps the pressure up top. The ult from Ashe lands onto reality, but Crisp10 taking a lot of damage here, down to about 300 health. The Nami ult comes out as well. Teagarden, after throwing the ult, said, no, I want this turret more. Instead, has not contributed to this fight, and will get that turret, inhibitor turret, down. Zongi is now roaming over, but Crisp10 down to about 300 health, forced to run away as Joe Baby flashes forward, does drag the stopwatch out, and Azir will finish up that kill as Zongi absolutely deleted. Does not have any tank stats in comparison to the damage that ZMG can put out here. That's going to be an inhibitor down. It's going to be ZMG choosing to just end this game, not going for the 3 inhibitor, trying to take out these Nexus turrets and finish this series on a high note. Looks like Lotus Bloom was, or Lotus Prestige rather, able to get enough members out onto the field in time to keep the one Nexus turret alive. So this will just be a triple inhibitor here. And it appears that ZMG is ending their push here. However, with Lotus Prestige triple inhibitors down, does not feel like there's much of a way back for them.
Especially since, like, worst case scenario, they, like, Renekton could probably just easily go into their base, take the turret, take the Nexus, and be like, ha.
Absolutely. I mean, Lotus Prestige only has one turret down. They are down 15,000 gold. ZMG has Earth Soul. This game feels very close to over as Zongi is forced to flash to stay alive in the face of 5 members here. ZMG deciding to deathball and end this game. Or attempt
Like
to
I
end this
was
game.
kind of like I was saying earlier, although I love playing my Ashe support, I just don't think it's gonna comp because people can punish you a lot easier when there's a 5-man call and something on the line.
Yes, the famous ZMG Pride. We do see the 4-man root by Azir. Absolutely wombo comboed. 4 men killed immediately there. Seraphine is the only member alive, forced to flash deep into her fountain. That will be game. ZMG will take the Nexus, take the game, and take the match here 2-1. A fabulous statement game 3 out of ZMG to end this match. Wow. I mean, what more needs to be said? That game really said about all that there was to say about this ZMG team.
They said, "Hey guys, we know we didn't do the best the first game, and we end the second game was a little close, but like the third game we're just gonna blow them out. You know, we kind of understand this team now, and we're ready to rumble."
It's utter domination. I'm speechless. There's there's nothing I feel I can add to this. Um, is there any chance that we can get one of these ZMG folks in here to chat with us about the turnaround there, the reverse sweep?
I'm about to. Well, I'm asking now. I'm waiting on a response.
Alrighty. Teagarden ending that game 11-0 and 4, by the way. Absolute domination in the bot lane. And Azir in the mid lane on Swain 5-0 and 2. Or 5-0 and 12, rather.
Oh, and it looks like
I've been.
we will have Azir.
Speaking of Azir,
Hey guys.
I did malign your Swain in game 1, but in game 3 you turned the Jets on and proved me wrong. Congratulations on coming back and winning games 2 and 3 to take that series.
Thank you, thank you. Going into game 1, we intended to scout them out. We kind of threw out the bans on red side, hoping to kind of give a feel for it. We did get blown out a little harder than we needed to in the process, but game 2, our champion top laner Shane kind of took it by storm, walked out the game for us, and then game 3 we kind of got a lock on everything, and then it was just it was all she wrote. We just walked it
Do
out.
you think the fact that you guys kept banning the Orn in game 2 and 3 really helped improve the game state?
Yeah, we found that the issue in game 1 was that we kept trying to make picks on the Ornn to kind of blow him out before the fights, and that last crucial fight before Elder, we overcommitted for that Ornn play, and he even as behind as he just took the entirety of all of our damage from our team, and then we got reverse sweeped, which was really really tough. That and the Senna, so we prioed those bans out through draft every single round with the key ones that we were running, as well as like Kale and I believe it was Ezreal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Did this was your first game loss in match play here in the APL? Did that affect y'all's mental at all, or were you still confident heading into game 2 that you had this match under control?
Going into game 2, we kind of got a read on everything. It was a little frustrating that we dropped a game, but we came into this with the foresight that this was a cross game. This isn't going to necessarily drastically shift our standing going into the rest of the weeks coming for placements. So we took it as a strong learning experience, but we obviously it is still a little frustrating breaking the streak this early on.
And then how does this experience this week affect how you guys play next week? Are you going to pull out the Victor again, or are you going to try to stick to the Swain?
Victor and Swain seem to be sat pretty good in my pocket right now. I enjoy playing both of them at the moment quite a bit because obviously, as you see, the Azir gets banned out within a couple seconds every single draft. So I don't expect to play it ever, but the Swain I'm real comfortable on, and the Victor's like up and coming on the list of champions that I've been playing recently. So they're definitely going to be mainstays going forward.
I know.
Some surprising stuff was the Caitlyn out of T-Guard in this game. He just held down bot lane the entire game. We had our support roaming like 90% of the game, and that man held down that tower like his life depended on it. He fucking delivered. Rocked that game.
Based
Yeah,
on
I
how,
know. Oh, sorry.
please go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know in the chat there was kind of a little. They were kind of confused on why Lotus didn't send Lucian into the mid lane and have the Seraphine Ash bot lane. Do you think that would have changed how well Caitlyn would have been able to solo lane?
It would have been a lot harder. For sure, we were expecting it in draft that was going to be what was going to happen. So we didn't know until we got into lobby and they locked in positionally that we would be dealing with the Seraphine mid and the Lucian bot lane. And as soon as we saw that, we just knew we had like a really strong footing in the game because the lanes got significantly easier for us. So I'm not exactly sure why they didn't do it. Maybe the mid laner wasn't comfortable on the Lucian, but I mean we felt it was a bit of an ego running the Lucian with the setup that they had like that in the bot lane. So we definitely took advantage of it, especially with that early gank off of Wukong going bot lane and really putting like a blowing out the tempo for the bot lane that early on really just set our foot strong down there.
Because it allowed your bot lane to hit level 2 first, and it forced the Lucian to TP very early on.
Exactly. Yeah, and Lucian running the TP in that situation kind of boggled our mind too. We weren't exactly sure
I was
what
kind
the
of
reason
like,
for that was. I think it made the laning a lot weaker for them, especially with such a strong early game champion. I feel like they really missed the ball on that pick there. Not to mention we got the Renekton in game 3 as well, and Shane put work in that all game top lane. That Poppy could not breathe the entire game. He was bleeding
I felt a little bit bad for the
all game.
Poppy at one point. I was like, wow,
Yeah,
they're just bullying.
it was no contest. It was a little frustrating too because he was getting out at like 20, 30 HP a couple times, but we kept walking with it, just walking towers down. We had I believe every single plate down on the map before the 14-minute mark.
I
We didn't take
mean,
every tower before 14 minutes, but we had four plates down on every single tower. So we were sitting pretty comfortable most of the game.
Knowing how well T-Garden played that game, will that change any of your strategies moving forward? Will you be able to trust him more to play alone while reality roams?
Between game 2 and 3, he more than showed that he was completely capable of that. He only dropped, I think, once to the Zeri Yumi pressure down bot lane, despite the all-ins, and that was full committed on the ADC and the support there, and he didn't let it happen for the rest of the game. And then game 3, it just never occurred. He had a really nice outplay under the turret, and then cleansed the Ashe ult and just dipped out of the lane, and just set his foot down and said, "I'm not going anywhere." So definitely moving forward, a lot of faith in that going forward.
Anything else you'd like to say to our lovely viewers on Twitch, or comment on this game or anything?
Well, I thanks for tuning in and watching us. It means a lot that we have a following of people checking out our games every week. So hope to see you guys continue watching and cheering us on. Thanks for the support.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Azir. We appreciate you coming in to chat with us after a fun 3-game match here. With that being
Don't worry, I never lost faith. I said
I've got no doubt, no doubt, Fig.
it's on stream. I said I believe multiple times.
Oh, are you tempting me to roll back the tapes for game 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. maybe not that far back, right?
Game 1 was a wash. I think we can all
Yeah.
agree that game 1 was a bit of a wash.
Yeah, game 1 was a pretty rough time for us. Thanks for having me. I will take my leave now.
Thank you much. Alrighty, folks. Well, that will do it for us here this evening for our APL match from ZMG Legends. If you will be here tomorrow, you will be seeing AGL. Our ZMG Luna will be playing tomorrow. Same time, same place. If you are following us, don't forget to turn those notifications on so that you do get informed when we go live. But with that being said, give us a follow. Keep around. We will be streaming matches every Thursday, Friday, and occasional scrims throughout the week here from ZMG. We will be back tomorrow. Thank you very much, folks. Have a lovely night.